Welcome to our posts. Today we will see stories of am I the a-hole? Am I the a-hole for telling my sister her son is only special to her? I, 26 female, have 3 older siblings. This is about my oldest sister Abby, 37 female. Abby has a son, 5 years old, and I have a daughter 1 year old. Abby dealt with years of fertility issues and had probably 10 plus miscarriages. Then she had her son, and of course, he was Abby's miracle rainbow baby. We were so happy for her. But then it leads to Abby spoiling her son and letting him get away with everything because he's a miracle and he's special. Everyone has always bit their tongue when it comes to her son because of that. On Saturday I had my daughter's first birthday party. It was mostly family and a few of my close friends were invited. I invited Abby and her son because everyone else in our family was invited, so I felt bad excluding her. We had different activities for the kids to do. Abby's son didn't like any of them. He was upset none of the presents were for him. He didn't want to eat any of the food we had. He then decided to try and push the cake off the table because apparently he was mad the cake wasn't his. I got super upset at Abby for allowing her son to act that way. She went on to say her son is special. I said her son is only special to her, which is understandable. But to everyone else, he's a spoiled brat which shouldn't be overlooked because he was your special miracle baby. Abby called me a B-word and left crying. A few family members have since called me an a-hole because I've never dealt with a miscarriage, so I don't understand how painful it was for Abby to deal with years of that before her son. It's not that I don't realize her son is special to her, but it doesn't give the excuse for Abby to allow him to act like a spoiled brat. Next story. Am I the a-hole for calling my daughter's father spineless and his girlfriend creepy over their name choice for their daughter? A little bit of context for you all. I ended up falling pregnant with my 10-year-old daughter during a drunken hookup with a friend in my mid-20s. Not the most glamorous or flattering truth, but it's the truth all the same. When we found out, we decided to keep the child and co-parent while remaining friends. We were never a couple and we didn't want to be one either. 4 years ago he began to date his long-term girlfriend and they moved in together last year. She fell pregnant and I've been supportive to them both as much as I could be without crossing any lines. I've encouraged my daughter to help out whenever she's staying with them during the pregnancy and to behave. I've also made it clear that I want the children to have a close relationship despite having different mothers. I've even said that if they were comfortable with it on nights I have my daughter, if they ever want time alone, I'll babysit once they have the baby so my daughter can spend time with her sibling. All in all, I thought everything was great and I was excited for my daughter to have a sibling as she's always wanted one, but I had no interest in having another child. 3 days ago my friend and his girlfriend had a daughter. They asked me to bring my daughter to the hospital to meet her little sister yesterday alongside others of the family. So I did exactly that, but when they introduced us to the baby, I was shocked. They'd used my daughter's name. She didn't seem to have any issue with this when she introduced the baby bold as Brass. My friend seemed uncomfortable and wouldn't look at me directly. I asked them what they were playing at which point my friend's father said he'd take my daughter down to the cafeteria to get something to eat and left with her. My friend told me to calm down and not overreact, while his girlfriend told me she didn't see the issue and it was a pretty name. I asked them if they'd named the baby for my daughter, trying to understand the logic here, but his girlfriend said that no, it was just a pretty name she liked. I then asked if they planned to use a nickname or a middle name when addressing to her on a daily basis, and her response was that she didn't see a need for that. I told them they were being ridiculous and that they couldn't do this. I then told his girlfriend that I found this frankly creepy and told my friend he was being spineless if he was happy to go along with this. He tried to claim our daughter could use a nickname or something, but I shut that down immediately, asking why it was more reasonable for a girl who has used that name for a decade to shame her name compared to a baby who had no concept of what a name was yet. His girlfriend told me I was being a B-word talking to her like that after she just gave birth and asked the nurses to remove me, saying I was being disruptive. Maybe my temper is running a little too hot though, and I was too harsh on her when she just gave birth. It's just so effing weird. Next story. Am I the a-hole for firing my brother after he proposed at my wedding? So a bit of background. I own a plumbing company and hired my brother 3 years ago. He was jobless after the pandemic and I offered for him to come work for me. He was 22 at the time and is now looking to become a master plumber and start his own business. At my wedding, in which he was the best man, he decided that during his speech he would give us all a big surprise and decided to propose to his longtime girlfriend. Me and my wife were appalled. We both feel like he stole the shine from our day. Everyone else in our families were so excited and kept taking pictures with her, looking at the ring, etc. I decided to fire him the very next day. He still doesn't understand why. He claims I'm being selfish and irrational, and our parents agree. They're saying that business should be separate from our personal lives, but I just can't overlook what he did and how he ruined our day. Am I overthinking this? Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my dad he doesn't get to talk about my period? I, 16 female, have made it really awkward to be around my dad, 46 male, and have probably ruined my relationship with him. I know I'm kind of young to be on Reddit, but I need help. I'm currently on my period and only use pads because tampons make me uncomfortable. In January, my family got a dog. I'm not really a fan of dogs, but I tolerate her. When I replace a pad, I wrap it up in toilet paper or wrap it in the wrapper of the new pad and seal it closed with the little tape still on the wrapper. This has never been a problem until we got a dog. She likes going into the bathroom and taking my used pads out of the trash and ripping them apart. For the last couple months, I've had to chase her around the house and clean up ripped apart pads, but it's never really bothered the rest of my family as long as I'm the one cleaning them up. Today, the dog got to a pad I had thrown away earlier this morning. I caught her and threw the pad back in the trash and closed the bathroom door so she couldn't get to the trash again. While I was in my bedroom, my dad confronted me about it. He told me that the dog kept getting my pads out of the trash and that it was a problem. I was confused and asked him what he wanted me to do about it since the only way to dispose of a pad is to throw it away. He told me that he wanted me to grow the F up and start using tampons. I was horrified. I told him that I wasn't comfortable with tampons and that he didn't get to talk to me about my period. He asked why not. I was speechless and had no idea what to say and just started crying from the embarrassment and shock and shut my bedroom door. My mom, 47 female, is currently in Florida visiting family, but she was my last resort. I'll copy and paste the exact message I sent her. Tell dad to stay in his own effing lane and leave me alone because he just told me I had to grow up and start using tampons so that the dog would stop eating my pads. He doesn't get to say that to me, it's not fair. I can't help that my uterus sheds every month and I go through almost unbearable pain, and his only remark is that I have to grow up and use something I'm not comfortable with. I know it sounds a bit bratty, but I was crying my eyes out and had no idea what to say. She's furious with him. She texted back saying it was inappropriate that he said that to me and that it was a total rude move on his part and it wouldn't happen again. I have no idea what she texted him, but I haven't seen or talked to him since. I think he's probably mad at me for bringing my mom into this and I don't know how to confront him. Am I the a-hole? Next story. Am I the a-hole for ending my childcare agreement with my sister because I don't want to care for her future stepkids who I never met? I, 27 female, am a stay-at-home mom to my two little boys ages 5 and 1. I also take care of my sister's two children ages 8 and 6 after school and during summer break. She sends snacks for all the kids and pays me a small amount of money. I never asked for a lot because it was never a big deal to me and I enjoy seeing my niece and nephew. But now things have changed. My sister is engaged and her future husband lives out of state with his two children. My sister already told me they were hoping I would take care of them. I asked when I would be meeting the kids and she said they fly in just before the wedding and I would start right away. I told her I would like to get to know the kids first and she said they want to start out on the right path with being a blended family and that means treating the kids the same. She said they want them to have that after school time together. I told her I understood, but I would not be comfortable taking care of the kids for extended periods of time when I do not know them and will have met them 1 or 2 times before they would be placed in my care and I would not be comfortable. My sister asked why I can't just embrace a big change and throw myself in. I told her if she was willing to give me some time to get to know the kids, she said no. So I told her firmly that she would need to find someone else to take care of the kids. My sister told me I was really showing that I only consider family those who are related by blood. But I would feel the same if my brother came back home after several years and asked me to watch his kids who I have never met and they're blood related. For me, it's just a position that requires a close, existing relationship for me to be okay with it. Am I the a-hole though? Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my friend that she shouldn't wear a bikini to the pool? My best friend was visiting me this week, and since it's summer we decided we wanted to go to the pool. She has been on antidepressants for the past 2 years, which has made her gain a ton of weight. She used to be very slim and skinny like me, but the meds have completely changed her body composition. She brought a few bathing suits and was asking for my opinion on them. She had a one-piece and a bikini she was deciding between. She kept saying she looked too fat in the bikini and might wear the one-piece. I actually thought the one-piece looked better, but I didn't say anything because it was up to her. She modeled both for me and asked for my opinion. All I said was I like the one-piece better. She asked me if I thought she looked fat in the bikini, and I said no, I just like the other one better. She started to act super triggered and kept accusing me of thinking she's fat, and I told her to F off and wear whatever she wants. She put on the one piece and kept making snarky comments about how I think she's fat and I would ignore her, but she kept taunting me with comments, so I just snapped and said, yeah, you shouldn't wear a bikini cause it doesn't look good on you. Happy now? Is that what you wanted me to say so badly? She just started packing her bags and went somewhere. I haven't heard from her since. I heard from our mutual friend Allie that she's safe. She just went to a hotel and rebooked her flight. But Allie told me that apparently my friend told her that I called her fat, and Allie says I could have handled the situation better even when I told her the real story. Am I the a-hole? Next story. Am I the a-hole for implying to my coworker that I please myself when my husband is away? I have been at this company for about 2 years now, and one of my coworkers, John, and I have become pretty good friends and get along well. We are both happily married and just friends, though we do catch up on life during work hours. My husband has been away on a business trip for 2 weeks now. John and I were chatting in the office this morning, and I mentioned to him that I've been at my house alone for the past week and pretty bored without my husband. He asked me what I do to pass the time and that I must be a bit pent up with my husband gone for that long. I was surprised he said that, but I feel comfortable enough around him that it didn't bother me, and I chalked it up to playful banter. I jokingly told him that I know exactly how to please myself when my husband is away. He got really awkward and uncomfortable, and we've been distant since. I just checked my inbox and there was a meeting on my calendar from HR. I tried to message John, but he's not responding, and my manager came by my desk and told me that my behavior is ridiculous and to not speak to John until I'm told otherwise. Am I the a-hole? I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure like, comment, share and subscribe the channel or posts.